I swore it off at that point.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got high. I was actually not very, well, not as young as some might be, but I was like 16.
It was when I was right before 6th grade.
I was 9.
15, 14.
I started at 15 years old.
My mom's not gonna love hearing this, but I was 13. I was a little kid.
I was about 13, I think, the first time I smoked weed.
An adult had shown me how to roll joints, and then I was showing other little kids how to roll joints.
I wanted to try it just to get it out of the way, like say, yeah, I've tried it before. So I don't know how they did it, but they put the weed on top and then they told me to like try it. And I didn't do it right, but because I didn't want them to keep pressuring me, I just lied. So I guess I've never been high before, but I have tried it.
We went down in their little cellar, their little basement, and we hotboxed it down there, you know? I mean, it was just like steep steps, and it was just like this little square space. And every time I smelt the aroma of weed, like, hit my face, my whole body would go tingly, and I'd be like, oh, and I would start laughing, and everybody just faces start looking weird and stuff, and it was just so smoky down there.
Well, I would say I was like 15 or 16. It was the Super Bowl, and I was hanging out with a bunch of dudes, and they had a 10-footer, and I was trying to be cool with the dudes and pulled the whole thing. And then within, I don't know, what seemed like a very short amount of time, I made my way to the bathroom and passed out on the bathroom floor, and that was it. That was it. That's all she wrote.
I remember watching Thundercats and sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden the phone rang. And my cousin's like, hey, it's for so-and-so in the back. You wanna go tell her? And I'm like, okay. And so I go back to the back room, and me not knowing anything, I didn't knock on the door, I just opened it up, and I'm like, the phone's for you. I look in, and she's sitting on top of a guy, and she's got her shirt off. And it's the first time I see a naked lady.
I was with my girlfriend, and it was really bad weed. It was really bad weed. I didn't know to grind it up, so I just like ripped off a hunk from this brick and jammed it into a pipe. She came out and saw me, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, just coughing everywhere. And I was like, nothing, don't worry about it. And she got a little mad because, you know, why wouldn't she? I'm smoking on her back deck without her. So then we smoked together to make up for it, and both of us got a little high, but I wouldn't say nearly as high as I am right now.
My dad has an abalone shell, like on top of, we had like a piano, and it was like on top of that, and then I pulled the joint out. It was like maybe he like smoked like this much of it, but it was a pretty big roach. And I smoked that joint to my whole self when I was 9. And then I had a re-virgin experience, because then I went to go live with my mom, and she busted me for the first time smoking weed. And she was furious, and she wanted to like leave the town we were living in. And then 2 hours later, she was rolling a joint, and she's like, if you're gonna smoke weed, you're gonna smoke it properly. And then she actually smoked the joint with me.
Turn the TV, I'm like, all right, I just need to chill, breathe. And when I'm at home, I just feel myself just melting in the seat and just like dying. And it was pretty funny, and I couldn't move my fingers or anything. All I wanted to do was just like run to the TV and back just to make sure I was okay. And I was sitting there just couldn't do it. No balance or nothing. Just watching like this comedy. And it just felt stuck for at least like 2 hours.
I was a freshman and my crush was a junior. He came to Culinary Club that day and said, hey, do you wanna go smoke weed for the first time? And I almost peed myself, almost had an anxiety attack because my crush was talking to me, and said yes. We drove to some park and we smoked a bowl of weed for the first time. But then I did start like smoking weed after that, and my girlfriends and I would smoke weed, watch Lifetime movies, and knit together like old women. Happy birthday, Mom. I'm gonna send her this video. Happy birthday, Mom. She caught me smoking weed when I was 15.